What's up, everybody? Welcome into the channel. This is our second channel where we basically talk football, talk sports, and honestly, I'm leaning towards talking a lot of Manchester United. It is a very intriguing club right now in the world of football. I know there's a ton of clubs out there, but right now I think Manchester United deserves some praise and potentially some scrutiny depending on what side of the fence you lean on. Hit that subscribe button if you guys want to see more football talk. We'll be bringing it to you guys as much as humanly possible, given the news, also my work schedule, so on and so forth. So might be a little late to some of the stories, but we'll definitely bring you our opinions and thoughts on the matter depending on what stories break. I know Bryan Mbeumo has talked about wanting to come to Manchester United, only wanting to go to Manchester United. He believes in the project that they are building, and honestly, I don't know how that's going to work. I know they're asking potentially for a 60 to 65 million pound, almost what Cunha got, for Manchester United, which I do believe that they have been able to break up into 3 installments because the financial situation for United is very poor. Kind of scary just where they are and where they once were back in the day. I mean, they've always been a big club and they've always spent, and they've been top 5 list of most profitable clubs, so on and so forth, in the entire world. But it is dire straits right now with the Glazers and Sir Jim Ratcliffe. But Mbeumo would be a huge pickup with Cunha, but the biggest news, I think, of the day, not from Sancho, I should say, but in terms of Bruno Fernandes, I know that he basically turned down the move to Al Hilal. For me, was an easy move. Even at a family level, I had Joao Cancelo there, but I wanted to maintain myself at the highest level. I wanted to keep playing in the biggest competitions, and I feel capable of it. There are a few other reports out there that him basically talking about that he didn't need to go, and if the club, aka United, wanted him to go, he would have, but he knows that United have the funds for him to make these Mbeumo moves, the Cunha moves, without him needing to go. So it's kind of putting a little bit of pressure on the Glazers and Sir Jim Ratcliffe Ineos to be able to put some funds into the club. I know they've got a bunch of people that they are looking, or players coming back, such as Sancho, such as Rashford. Garnacho is going to be out the door as well. Hoyland apparently is going to be out the door as well, with the deal being in the works for a move to Italy, or back to Italy, I should say. Sancho doesn't plan on staying at United. I know Fabrizio is a big time guy that a lot of people follow. David Ornstein. There are a few other folks within the circles of non-traditional media that I will also follow to give you guys my opinion and news on. But Sancho, he's not leaving, or he is leaving Chelsea. They couldn't figure out the financials. He is making a ton of money per week and basically wanted to keep the same abouts when it comes to his contract at Chelsea. Chelsea don't want to pay him that much, so they're going to have to pay Man United a $5 million fee to send him back to United. And then at this point, Sancho does not want to play for United. Neither, I don't think, United wants him to play for them. Regardless, with the wingback formation, the 3-4-2-1 formation, I just don't see him fitting into that system as a wing back. It's just not going to work. Plus, just his history with United hasn't been the best whatsoever, and it's probably best that he does move on, whether it's a move to Saudi, whether it's a move to Turkey, like Fenerbahce or one of those big clubs like that, whether he has something in the works to move to, whether it's somewhere in France, Germany. I mean, there's plenty of clubs out there that he could possibly make a move to, but the bigger question for Sancho is he playing for his career, or is he playing for his future? And you might be thinking, well, what's the difference? Their career, playing for football, playing for pride, playing for legacy. And we talk about that here in the United States a lot with taking a pay cut, so that since we have like pretty pretty hard cap salary caps in certain sports, and mainly hockey from what my experience mostly is top players need to take a bit of a pay cut to bring in other players to fill in those holes throughout the team to be able to perform at their top level as a team and not an individual, to bring championships to the club, to bring pride to the badge that you wear? Or is he going to play for his future, which is his family, his bank account, whatever it might be if he moves to Saudi or even to Turkey? I know that they pay players a premium as well there, not as much as Saudi. I know Bruno was being offered upwards to 750,000 pounds, euros, whatever you want to call it, a week, which is just mind-boggling. I can't wrap my head around that, but they were willing to do that for Fernandes, which is, again, just absolutely crazy. But biggest news, Cunha, obviously that deal is getting done, or is done. Here we go from Fabrizio. He's coming to the club. Why am I drawing a blank? Bryan Mbeumo. I always butcher his name. He is apparently only wanting to move to Manchester United ahead of the likes of the Newcastles, the Arsenals. I don't think Man City were in for him, but biggest to note, Newcastle, Arsenal, maybe Liverpool possibly would be sniffing around for the likes of a player like that. Mbeumo, very, very solid player. Fernandes staying. They do need a striker. Højlund apparently on his way out. Talks are being made in Italy for him to get, at this point, a permanent deal would be great for United, but there's apparently a loan deal in place to then buy, but United need the funds to then go out and get another striker. That's word on the street. I know they have Xerxes in there, but he is not going to be your top go-to man. I know there have been links to Mitrovic out there, which I don't really see that happening, but beggars can't be choosers. At this point, Mateta at Crystal Palace, apparently he wants to stay at Palace. He doesn't want to leave Palace. So it's crazy stuff, but I'm coming to this for you guys as another outlet out there. I know there are a bunch of other channels, but I don't really see one of somebody from the United States covering United, so I figured I'd give you guys my 2 cents in the way that I think. Again, I do call it football. It is not soccer. It is football. United are one of the most interesting cases, I think, in football right now, just given the fact I perceive them to be the Montreal Canadiens in what I see over here in America. Very good back in the day, winning championships, bringing glory to the franchise, and then as of late, kind of in the doldrums, pretty much. They are in a rebuilding phase. Financially, they're not in a similar hole as United are whatsoever, but it is very similar, and I think would be very interesting to kind of hop on board, see what the journey, see where it takes us. I love this time of year with transfers and talks and moves and building teams and preseason, all gearing up for the regular season, in which all United are going to have this year is the Premier League and the domestic cups, FA Cup and the League Cup, the Carabao Cup, whatever you want to call it. And that's it. And they have their preseason tour here in the U.S., which is like a Premier League series. They've got a game against Leeds, I do believe, in Sweden, and a game against Valencia. I could be wrong about that before they actually get into the meat and potatoes of their schedule for the Premier League. But who knows? Is Casemiro going to stay? Is he going to go? I know there are talks that they want to bring in another midfielder, but they already got Ugarte. They already have Kobe Mainu. But how do they fit into the team with if Bruno's staying? Is he going to play a number 10 role? Is he going to sit a little bit further back in the midfield? I know that didn't really work out this past season when he did play a little bit deeper, because Bruno is not a defensive type player. And whether you're Bruno go or Bruno stay, it is going to be interesting to see what happens with the other pieces moving around United, with the Cunhas, with the Mbeumo, with the Bryan Mbeumo's, if they are able to actually get that deal done with him. That's really going to shake up the midfield. I think the biggest losers are going to be the Ugates, the Kobe Mainus, the younger players who are going to have to come off the bench as subs, most likely, because that is a packed midfield, and to boot, they are also looking to get a more defensive-minded midfield type player into the team as well. But you got to add all that up with the financial situation that they have, the 100+ potential million they could have gotten for Bruno. But again, he's saying the club doesn't need that money. They've got plenty of money to spend on other players, such as the Cunhas and the Mbuemos. Where else are they going to get funds to get a striker, to get a keeper? Because Onana, I don't think he's going to stay. Honestly, they need to get rid of him. In my opinion, he has not lived up to the hype or the price tag that they brought him in for. So they're going to have to find that as well. I think defensively they are fine. They've got Mazraoui. They've got Yoro. They've got De Ligt. They've got Harry Maguire as well, if they want him to come off the bench. They got a lot of different players at their disposal. Ahmad. The list goes on, but it's going to be interesting to see where things go from here. But again, we will be sure to bring you guys some updated news throughout the upcoming weeks through the summer transfer window, see what they do, and just kind of get into this world of talking about sports and enjoying sports and having conversation about sports. I know this video is going a little bit long right now, but anyone who does come onto the channel, I am more than happy to listen to your own opinions. Everyone is entitled to their own opinions. I am just one person talking about sports and trying to have a good time with it. And I think United is the perfect case to kind of follow and jump on that wagon of, I know most people will jump on wagons when they're at the top of the mountain, and we call those the bandwagoners. At the top, I mean, you've got the United of old, the class of 92, so on and so forth, the Giggs, the Beckhams, the Scholes, the Ronaldos, the Van Nistelrooys, the Van Persies, the Nanis. I mean, I could have jumped on back then and been like, oh, we won Champions Leagues and Premier League titles, so on and so forth, Sir Alex Ferguson. The list goes on, but through that, never jumped on board. Don't know why, just never did. But I think now's the time to jump on board at their lowest point, losing the Europa League to Spurs the way they did, and just the way they played. It was by far the worst viewing experience of a football match, I should say, that I've ever seen in my life. Just absolutely dreadful. I'd rather go to the park and watch 12-year-old kids and like siblings play soccer. It would have been more enjoyable than watching that match. So I think joining now, lowest point, I think will be fun. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Everything going on, the Mbeumo. Again, I will work on his pronunciation. I do apologize. The Fernandes, the Bruno information, the news coming out for him, the Sancho news coming in, the Højlund news coming in. Let me know your guys' thoughts, what you think they should do moving forward. And we'll be sure to drop some more videos going throughout. This is going to be a little bit longer video explaining who I am, what we're doing, as well as some news here and there. Most videos will be a little bit shorter. We won't do any live streams or anything like that. Maybe live watch-alongs on weekends once the season gets going. But we'll have to wait and see for that. I thank you guys so much. Again, this is the second channel, main channel. We do play games, have a good time there. With soccer, we've got a couple fun ones coming up this upcoming cycle of games. But this channel is meant to just talk football. So let's have fun with it, guys. We will see you around United. It's going to be interesting, but we will catch you guys in the next video.